And what Doug said a while ago about preach, prayer, die. That's what we got to do. That's why we're here. I started out raised in church. I had a drug problem. My granny drugged me to church every time the doors were open. So I knew the Lord, or I thought I knew the Lord. I knew of the Lord. Like I said, I was in church every time the doors were open. But you know what? It didn't make me saved. Like Brother Doug said, we were out there talking the other night about where we'd been. And I'm like him, I'm glad I'm on the right road. But I'm going to give you a little bit of history. And I started out in high school, and I rode, started out my junior year in high school. I got on some bareback courses. I run with a pretty good group of guys that whatever they did, I thought I had to do it too. And they said, we want to take up rugby when we was tough. We're going to play Cowboys. And I said, well, I don't know about these bulls, but I'll give my hand to this bareback riding. Well, I got on these bareback horses. And I rode that first year in high school, and I got on 12, and I might have covered one of them. And our brother Doug brought a message a while back about Jesus being with the lost. And I'm here to tell you that he was with the lost with me. And like I said, I knew of him. And I was playing church, that's what I was doing. And I got on, like I said, 12 of those horses, and I might have rode one of them. I said, well, I'm going to give my hand at this bull riding. So went over to Monticello, and I got on this pin that was a suicide pin. It had three wood planks all the way around the ring, and a couple of barbed wire around the top. It was bad. And I got on this little bull, and I sat up there on top of it until I heard that whistle blow. I said, hey, I can do this bull riding. So I kept on getting on some bulls, and I told my mom, I said, I'm riding bulls. She said, you better not be. I said, well, I am. She said, well, I tell you what, you get hurt, I ain't gonna have nothing to do with you, blah, blah, you know. She was being a mom. She didn't want nobody to get hurt. She was looking out for me. Well, I got on my 13th bull over at that same pen, and I thought I had this. I had it whooped, and I got up there and I said, "What's this bull gonna do, boys?" They said, "Oh, he ain't gonna do nothing but run down the pen." Well, if you rode bulls very long, you don't go by what somebody says. You ride jump for jump. And I said, "Well, I'm gonna get on this sucker. I'm gonna spur the mess out of him. I'm gonna win me a check." Well, that bull jumped out there and he didn't go straight down the pen. Last thing I remember was feeling like I was smushed into the ground. And everything was spinning around, my eyes were blurry, I couldn't really make out nothing. And I felt somebody come grab me. They grabbed me by this arm. And it was hanging about 2 foot lower than the other one. And he said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm tough, you know." He said, "Man, he took a good lick there. He stepped right in the middle of your chest." I said, "Did he?" I unbuttoned my chest, and I had a perfect hook print right in the center of my chest. And I got on, they said, "You need to go by ambulance. We need to get you to the hospital." I said, "I ain't got no insurance. I can't afford it. Go by my ambulance. I can't afford it." I rode in the back of a pickup truck down to Monticello. We went into the hospital, and they said, "We ain't got nobody here that's going to take care of you. We're going to send you to Pine Bluff." Okay? So I got to Pine Bluff. Like I said, it's all blurred, really. I'm going by what people told me. I go into the ER, and the guy says, "Well, your collarbone's broke, and your X-ray doesn't show anything in your chest. We're gonna put you in a brace that pulls your shoulders back. If you ever had your collarbone broke, they put you in a thing that pulls you straight back like that." I said, "Good, I'm ready to go to the house." And he says, "Well, let me take one more picture of you." So he puts me down in front of the X-ray machine with that bracelet, and he comes in there and he says, "Son, you ain't going nowhere." I looked at him kind of crazy, and I said, "What?" He said, "Your sternum broke in two." I said, "Broke in two?" He said, "Yeah, when we put you in that brace, it broke like this over the top, so it looked like it was together. And we put me in that brace, it opened it up." And so I was in emergency surgery. And he told me, he said, "You was lucky." I said, "Okay, I'll take that. you got up the right way, it would pierce your heart. I chalked that up to luck. Chalked it up to luck. Went on along, headed down the wrong road. I was partying. Every rodeo I go to, we hit the bars next. You know, as soon as we got off our bulls, we hit them up. And we go from one to the other, close them down. Girls, you know, anybody that I wanted to do. If it was drugs, rock and roll, sex, whatever, I was into it. And I was living life. I thought, rocked on and ended up getting married to the love of my life. Still thought I was saved. We rocked on down the road, doing what we wanted to do. We'd go to church, but we was playing church. And rocked on along. I was working at 7-Eleven. I run my own taekwondo school there for a little while in Magnolia. And I run my own business, and I had things going. My wife ended up pregnant. I'll let her do that later on, because she had a powerful testimony. She wasn't supposed to have kids, but y'all seen her running around here. We got it. And that's a blessing in itself. And that's part of my testimony too. Rocked on along there. And like I said, I was tough, you know. You wasn't going to slow me down. I rode bulls, broke bones. Heck, I stayed there one night, got on one. I got on that first bull because I was going to fight bulls after I got through riding my bull. And I stayed there, and the guy went to pick me up, and he bucked me off in the corner. In the corner of the fence, he just kept spinning and kicking. Well, he busted my head open. He broke his arm again. And the boy went to pick me up off the fence. I said, no, I'm going to grab out of it. It's broke. And he looked at me kind of crazy. I said, it's broke. And so I stayed there till everybody got through riding. I was tough, you know. You hear me? I was tough. I thought I was. Well, the whole time growing up, I was 12 years old. They told me I had an enlarged heart. And I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't play baseball. I couldn't lift weights. I couldn't do anything physical. I rode bulls, young. There's not a whole lot much more physical than that. I knew I had a problem with my heart, but I didn't pay no attention. I was tough. I said, I know the Lord. When He gets ready for me, I'm ready to go. You know, I was putting on the front. So the Lord was working at Spring Hill Medical Center one day, and they got a new MRI machine in there. And they said, hey, come down here and let us use you as a dummy. So, heck, I fit that part pretty good. We'll figure it out. So they went down there and run me through the MRI machine. And they said, okay, Lord being the loving like she is, she says, hey, while you're here, let Beth check on your heart. You didn't have a checkup in a while. Okay. I go in there and I lay down and spray out that old cold jelly stuff on you. Got to run it around on my chest. And the little girl was doing it. She stopped. She looked, I could see the look in her eye, and it was troubling. Here in a minute, she hit a button and she shot a measurement across the screen. I didn't understand. I hadn't started nursing at the time. So she shot that measurement again. Here in a minute, she said, hold on, I'm going to let somebody else look at this. Here in a minute, here comes the chief radiologist. He come in there around the corner. He went back to that same spot where she was at. He put the little thing down. He said, Scotty, I recommend you go see a cardiologist. I said, I can't afford to do that. He said, I'm telling you, you need to go somewhere quick. Okay. All right. You know, I said, well, I always say, I ain't having nothing done. I'm going to go when the good Lord calls me. Right on. I didn't have no insurance. And my wife takes the yellow pages. She flips through them. She picks one, puts your finger on one, gives him a call. Calls a cardiologist in Little Rock. She says, we don't have any insurance, we don't have any money. And he says, bring him on. I go over and I see him. He He does the same EKG on me, and he measures it out. He says, you got to have surgery, son. Your aorta valve is leaking back through. You have a aneurysm on your aorta. Those of you don't know, that's your main vessel in your heart. A normal size aorta is 2 to 3 centimeters. Mine was at 6.8. About that big. So, oh man, this is getting serious. He says, I'm going to send you across the street to see the surgeon. I said, all right. So we go across the street. I tell him, friends, I walk in there, man, I don't have any money. I don't have any insurance. I don't know what I'm going to do. He says, well, you're going to have surgery. What day do you want it on? I'm like, ooh. Like I said, we don't have any money, any Medicaid, no nothing. And he sticks his hand down as I meet him, and I look at it, and he says, no, they don't shake. I said, all right. He says, what kind of valve do you want in there? I scratched my head, and I said, what? He said, you can have a cadaver valve, you can have a pig valve, or you can have a mechanical valve. I said, well, I don't know. He says, well, the first two, we're going to replace in about 10 to 15 years. I said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through this again. I said, what about the mechanical? He says, you have to take a blood test the rest of your life. I said, okay, let's do that. So, get sent back to the house, and on July 15th, we're headed to the Social Security office in Texarkana, Arkansas. And I can show you the spot, I just can't tell you exactly where it's at. I said I wasn't never going to do this. And, but things change when you got a little toddler running around and he's looking up to you and he calls you daddy. So, I said, all right, we're going to do this. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to do it. So I'm headed to Texarkana. And there's a house down on the dip, and it's up a curve. There's a house up there on the hill, and it's got a wood fence out there in front of it. There's a deer feeder that sits off to the left of that pasture. Left side of that house, no, it's the right side of that house. I have a look out there. I prayed right there. I said, Lord, I've been playing church. I need you as my Savior. Right then, knew everything was going to be all right. I looked at my wife. She looked at me. I said, everything's going to be okay. She said, how you know? I said, it's going to be okay. Went over there to that Medicaid office. And she said, you don't qualify for Medicaid. I said, oh Lord, what am I going to do? But I knew everything was going to be all right. And I go in to have this surgery. I find then now, folks, I know where I'm going if I die. And I was telling them kids the other night, if you don't know where you're going, you need to get right. Because you never know what's going to happen when you walk out that door. We can all come in here on Sunday mornings and play church and leave. When you walk out that door, there's hundreds of folks that are sitting on church pews every day. They're going to die and go to hell because they don't personally know Jesus as your Savior. I walked in there and had that surgery. I didn't have a care in the world. Kissed my wife. When they put me to sleep, I was legally dead. They chilled me off to where I had no brain waves at all. Cut my chest with a saw, took out my heart and cut it in half and put a graft in it. Any of you ever looked inside a radiator hose and it's got the webbing inside of it? It's a gray looking webbing. It's the same stuff. The mechanical valve in there. They put my heart back together, sewed it up, and 6 weeks later I was weed eating my front yard. That's how powerful God is, folks. And He's the only reason I'm here today. I thank y'all.